hardest part of innovation. It's not the technology, the resources, or even the perfect timing. Something a lot closer. Ourselves. The theme of this TEDx talk is innovating through challenges, and while that might seem pretty straightforward, the biggest obstacle we face is ourselves. The biggest challenge is ourselves. At Northwestern, I participated in an entrepreneurship program in collaboration between Feinberg School of Medicine, McCormick School of Engineering, and Kellogg School of Management. In my interdisciplinary team of medical students, business students, and engineers, we worked on real-world problems in healthcare, specifically inventory management and supply chain management in the hospital setting. We shadowed physicians, we interviewed OR techs, OR nurses, supply chain specialists. We even had the amazing opportunity to have meetings with the director and the vice president of supply chain at Northwestern Medicine, and the Director of Innovation at Northwestern Medicine. So picture this. Here I was sitting in these rooms with these high-ranking executives and industry leaders, people with polished resumes and just LinkedIn profiles just filled with accomplishments. It was like a dream. I was surrounded by the top minds of healthcare and business. But when I stopped and took it all in, sitting in those rooms, looking around at all these executives and industry leaders, instead of feeling confident and accomplished, I started feeling small, and a wave of doubt hit me. And I started wondering, what am I doing here? I'm just an engineering student at Northwestern. I've never done this before. Some of these executives have had 20 plus years of experience. This is my first time doing this. Maybe all the accomplishments and everything that led me to this point, maybe it was just luck. I've never done this before. What I come to realize is that those feelings of doubt, they're actually really common. Athletes, celebrities, innovators, entrepreneurs, even the people you look up to and idolize have had these thoughts before. It's actually so common that they have a name for it: imposter syndrome. When I told my mentor about these feelings of doubt and uncertainty, talking about how I felt like I didn't belong, and this is my first time doing this, I've never done this before. He stopped me and said something I'll never forget. He said, "Ashley, of course you haven't done it yet. No one knows how to do it perfectly the first time. No one knows how to manage a team perfectly the first time, pitch to investors the first time perfectly, build up a startup and a company perfectly the first time. You can't compare yourself to people who've done it for decades. The only way to learn is by doing." You know, looking back, I realized that those feelings of doubt and uncertainty, it wasn't necessarily about my actual abilities. It was about stepping into the unknown and the pressure of being around people who seem so established. See, imposter syndrome often kicks in when we compare ourselves to others, especially those who are further along their journeys. It doesn't mean we aren't capable or we don't belong. It just is a normal, natural reaction to facing something new for the first time. It's not a sign of weakness, but a sign that we're getting out of our comfort zone and doing something new. Now I look at those thoughts of doubt and uncertainty and that nervousness differently. I see it as my body reacting to me getting out of that comfort zone. And I see it more as a motivator and seeing that I'm expanding my abilities, taking on, testing my limits, seeing what I'm capable of. Innovation relies on you to step into the unknown and convert what feels like uncertainty and doubt into drive. Because by converting it as a motivator, then you're not only innovating in your work, but you're also innovating within yourself. Imposter syndrome implies it's like this rare contagious disease that not a lot of people experience, but that's so not true. It's a normal, natural response to stepping into the unknown, doing something you've never done before. In fact, 82% of people have reported experiencing self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Even more interestingly, up to 84% of entrepreneurs, small business owners have experienced these thoughts before. But why? Why would so many of them feel that way? Well, because they're constantly facing the unknown. They're constantly confronting new obstacles, doing something that's never been done before, thinking outside of the box. To innovate means to do something that's never been done. You know, imposter syndrome often kicks in during major life changes, starting a new job, a new position, a new project, entering college, doing something you've never done before, being in a position you've never been in. It's not a sign of weakness, it just means that you're stretching beyond your capabilities. So some might say, well, if I avoid anything new or challenging, then I won't feel doubt. I won't have uncertainty. I won't feel discomfort. And there won't be any imposter syndrome. But that safe path is actually far more terrifying. Choosing to stay in the same place might spare you the discomfort, but imagine waking up years from now, reflecting on the dreams you never chased, the opportunities you never experienced, and the potential you never realized. So, if avoiding discomfort isn't the answer, then what is? Well, life is meant to be filled with risk, challenges, failures, growth, and learning. Embracing the discomfort of learning and growth is what leads to success. Growth means venturing into the unknown, accepting the inevitable discomfort, and allowing yourself the grace to learn, make mistakes along the way. Let go of the pressure to know everything from the beginning. I mean, the best leaders are those who are able to adapt, learn, and grow, even when feeling uncertain. Yes, growing is rarely easy, but when you welcome discomfort and you become comfortable in uncomfortable positions as you're going up the learning curve, you'll be amazed at the doors that open, doors to opportunity, doors to growth, possibility, and yeah, doors to innovation. But to truly get through that door of innovation, we need a strategy to tame that beast of doubt and imposter syndrome. How can we convert something that makes us uncomfortable? How can we convert an enemy into an ally? How can we use that to empower us and not paralyzes us? Well, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that felt doubt and unsure of themselves. In fact, Dr. Margaret Chan, former chief of the World Health Organization, she once said, there are these awful lot of people that think all this about me. How do these people believe all this about me? I'm so aware of what I don't know. Or Meryl Streep, an icon in acting. She said, why would anyone want to see me again in a movie? I don't know how to act anyway, so why am I doing this? Don't be surprised when those feelings arise, when you're growing, taking new positions, new situations, new goals. Don't panic. Doesn't mean you don't want. It's normal. It's a part of the learning curve journey. Number 2, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. As President Theodore Roosevelt once said, comparison is a thief of joy. That's so true in this case. Imposter syndrome thrives when you compare yourself to others, especially those who are further along in their journey, and you are just beginning yours. Of course, you're going to feel like an imposter when you compare your progress and success to someone who's on chapter 20, so 20 years of experience, and you just started, you're on chapter 1. It's okay. They were in the same spot you were. Admiring their success and achievements is great. It can inspire us. But drawing direct comparisons is only going to lead to frustration. Also, you're only seeing a small slice of someone's story. I mean, success stories are built off of failures and risk and challenges. Don't just read their cover page. Don't read the back of the book. There's a lot that happens within each chapter in each book of success. Number 3, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to fail, and that's okay. That's normal. That's a part of the learning curve journey. My advice to you is to make a list of all your achievements, any positive feedback you received from people, and write it down on a list or put it on your phone on the Notes app. Use that as a reminder that none of this came your way by accident. Making a mistake is okay. Learning from it and getting up again and trying again is what sets you apart and gives you success later on down the road. Number 4, reframe the narrative. When those thoughts and feelings come up, I don't belong, I didn't deserve all of this, I've never done this before, everyone else is doing so much better and I'm just starting and I don't know what to do. It's okay, pause, breathe, and move forward. Feeling unsure or uncomfortable is part of pushing your boundaries. It's the discomfort of moving up the learning curve. Growth is naturally uncomfortable. View, doubt, uncertainty, and imposter syndrome is a sign that you're growing and you're learning through firsthand experience. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you will be amazed at the opportunities that you'll be afforded and the personal growth you'll achieve. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. What you say to yourself matters a lot more than you think. It shapes your reality. So be careful of how you speak to yourself. When those negative thoughts come in, ask yourself, would I let anyone else speak to me this way? I highly doubt it. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and respect you would offer to a friend who's embarking on a new journey, a new situation, a new challenge of their life. You deserve that respect, and you deserve that kindness when you're going through a challenge, or you're growing and you're doing something new for the first time. The hardest part of growth, especially in innovation, is the discomfort that comes with it. Imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and uncertainty, it's part of that journey. It isn't a weakness, but meaning it's a signal that you are venturing into new, unknown territory. Exactly where innovation begins. When we're stepping into new roles, situations, or projects, especially those requiring creativity and fresh ideas, the fear of judgment and uncertainty can feel overwhelming, as if we're supposed to have everything figured out. I mean, you're going to feel like an imposter, comparing yourself to others and thinking, I should probably have this all figured out by now. But you're new, you're just starting. The truth is, if you're innovating, you're inherently taking on the unknown. By definition, innovation means creating something new, a new solution, a new idea to an unmet need. And to do that, you need to venture into the unknown. You need to think outside the box, something that's never done before. Embrace the discomfort. It's a sign of growth and possibilities. If you feel like the smartest person in the room, it's time to seek out another room. Innovation is fueled by questions, curiosity, and yes, even self-doubt. It's exactly how you figure out what you're capable of. And you'll be amazed at what you can do. As we continue to learn about innovating through challenges, let's remind ourselves that when we're innovating and we're taking on new roles, new projects, entrepreneurship, or just innovation in general, self-doubt, uncertainty, nervousness, imposter syndrome, it will show up, but it doesn't mean you don't belong. It doesn't mean you're weak. It's very normal, and it's a natural, normal response to stepping outside your comfort zone and doing something new. Innovation is uncomfortable. Together, we can create a future full of possibility and innovation. Thank you.